Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com. Today is Tuesday, June the 15th, 2010. We got some major news to go over, and I want to look at the charts as well, so let's get to it. Start off with all the questions we're getting about this move to the upside. Does it concern us? Where's our stop? What do I do? Someone hold me. All that stuff. We told you back here when this first one happened that a lot of guys will pass on these short signals because they can bounce against you for a while. At that time, we told you we didn't care. We shorted anyway. Anything above this line, we're shorting. We'll show you why in a minute. Anyway, so she bounced against us for a few days and then she dropped back down. Then we had the exact same setup all over again. We told you this bounce was even more likely than the last to happen, and you could end up getting a head and shoulders pattern. Basically, that's like this. You get first shoulder, the head, all right, the second shoulder, okay, and then you sell off. That's a major sell signal. You've seen it before, you just might not have noticed it. Right here, you had the same thing, okay, and it was a sell signal. So basically, you got the same thing setting up right here, and that's what a lot of guys are calling for. It was one of our 3 case scenarios that could happen, and in every case, we short it, plain and simple. We're not um, we're not under we don't change our mind with the direction of the market. It doesn't work that way for us. At PerfectStockAlert.com, we use a fundamental and technical analysis formula. So let's look at this from a fundamental perspective. Here we were before at this level. Okay, we're at that level again. All right, and we bounced up here, and based on the fundamentals we had then, we could not sustain this level, and down we went. Now the fundamentals are worse. We know that Hungary is a problem. We know that Greece has been downgraded even further, and we're bouncing back up here again. I don't believe that it can make a move to this level, but let's say it did. I definitely don't think it could make a move higher to that level because the fundamentals are worse than they were back here. But let's again say it did. If it was overbought here fundamentally and a short, then it would be overbought and a short here. It wouldn't change because of price. Price doesn't change fundamentals, right? Right. So that's basically how that's going to play out. It doesn't make a difference to you what happens. This is my most unlikely case scenario, like I talked about a week ago. I think it was on Wednesday or Thursday. What we believe to be the more likely case is, let me get the right tools, is like we talked about a minute ago, just this bounce up here to form that second shoulder and then the move lower. Okay, that's what we're looking at there. Now, we told you yesterday, we're talking about trend lines, and she's trending higher like this. You get the early warnings of a breakdown before it actually happens, and you get them by piercing signals like that, and then of course they break down. But she moves against you no matter what signal you use. You can be put under pressure for a time period. That's normal. That's stop trying to avoid that. If you're a smart investor, a smart trader, you're used to that. Okay, you're basically you take your positions where you know you're safe. And here we said short, and for a period of a couple of weeks, had a lot of guys kind of say, you're wrong, and maybe they made money right here that we didn't. There was moves that they could have made on the upside, and so they made this money, but we made this money. Okay, so I'm not really concerned with a little upside and stuff like that. If you look at the technicals, they're not bullish. Nothing bullish about them. You've got a sell signal here, a sell signal here. The chart is telling you to get out, to go short, to get out of your long positions. If you want to argue with it, that's your call. But as a technical analyst, my job is to read the chart, trust the chart, plain and simple. Look up here. I told you, once you got up there, the game's over. You're almost there, okay? So your move to the upside is going to be hampered right here, okay? Which is basically the same level we talked to you about before, where they're making that right shoulder. So nothing odd here about the move. We told you the bounce is likely. She's now bouncing. We would short the bounce. I think we've made that pretty clear. All right, all right. You'll notice the Hang Seng Index, Asia's major markets have already reached this overbought position right here. And now you'll notice since it's done that, she's just trending sideways. It's called churning. Basically, she's finding resistance at this level, okay? So that's a short. You're still in a downtrend right here and right here, okay? Very bearish conditions. All you have is a bounce and an overall downtrend. That's it, okay? When you get those, you short them. You don't buy them and try and go long. That's the wrong call. Here we have the FTSE, not quite up there yet, but I'm going to go ahead and short right there. I would recommend the entry point at this level or higher. You're just about there. Go ahead and let it run up there, but she is also in a downtrend right here, Any move to the upside like we posted before would just be met by a lower high, and there's nothing out here that you want to be a buyer of, in my opinion, as far as Europe goes, or the European Union and all that stuff. It's still a big mess out there that got to be solved. The Nasdaq still has a little bit more room to go, a little more than the other charts, but again, this is a bounce. This is not a quality move higher. You've got gaps galore. Okay, not sure if you got one there or not. Check that later. And you've got one here again today, and all the activity is on very low volume. Doesn't as a technical analyst, there's certain rules you play by, and one of the major ones is you do not trust a move higher that is on low volume. It's just a head fake, and that's exactly what you got here, forming that shoulder we talked about. Okay, just like you had back here. Just like that. And then we're doing that. Okay, how do we know we're doing? Let's look right quick at the chart. We've shown this before, but we'll show it to you again. All right. Low volume move to the upside. It's not to be trusted. Also, you've got the sell signals telling you this is not the bottom, and no hammer formation, no quality hammer formation on strong volume. So let's look on down here, and there she is. And if you recall, 3 weeks ago we told you before it happened that the Dow Jones was going to lose 790 points. And we just come out and said that the Dow Jones would now lose another 2,120 some odd points. And that's as of Friday's close. And we're able to call those because we're looking at the divergence of the RSI. You've got a low point here and a lower low here. That forms a divergence telling you that this is a downtrend, while price at the same time is pointing up. That's not to be trusted. You want to trust the RSI, and the RSI is telling you these low points are going to get taken out, so you will fall below 2100. Okay, this level right here, you're going to fall below that level. And the same thing is shown in a long-term chart of all your major world markets are all very bearish. Now, I want to talk about China. Last night, China came out and basically told everybody they were going to invest billions of dollars into Greece. It's an awesome investment, right? I mean, looked around the whole world and they said, hey, Greece is the best place to put our money. No, I don't think so. You also notice gold is moving up higher. Well, if Greece is getting all this investment capital, why is gold moving higher? I'll tell you what China's really doing, in my opinion. They're unloading the euro, and they're doing it very clever. It's a very smart move by them. Everybody knows China imports a lot of steel, a lot of coal, this and that, and they use a lot of shipping companies to do this stuff. Now they're over there, and they're thinking to themselves, okay, if we hold on to this euro and it becomes worthless, we got a whole bunch of paper stocked up here. How do we play this game a little smarter? Well, what they're doing is they're going over to Greece and they're making deals. They're putting out billions of dollars, or billions of euros, I should say, into Greece to purchase things, lots of ships and things of this nature that they're going to use anyway. And they're at the same time they're unloading these euros, and no one is even noticing. It's absolutely ingenious. That's a brilliant move by them. I loved it. And again, it's more signals that we have problems on the table they've yet to tell us about. So be keeping an eye on that. This is far from over. The market is fundamentally and technically, fundamentally so, overbought. Technically, we're reaching the overbought again. We're just coming into a bounce situation. So be keeping an eye on that. Also, if you wanted to trade gold to the long side, any close above this level, this high of 1252.10, could be an opportunity to go long from that perspective. You could do a momentum trade there and just set a stop at your low. Okay, like that. So if she broke out of here, you could go buy there and then set a stop right there and just trade her higher. Okay, awesome. Let's have a look at our disclaimer. There's our disclaimer. You can read it. If you haven't been to our free website at perfectstockalert.com, we encourage you to do that. All we ask in return is you refer a friend. Tell somebody, anybody, to check us out at perfectstockalert.com. We are here to help, making our users tons of money, even though the market moves against us for a couple of days. It's okay. We don't mind that, We just patient and a little bit smarter than those guys that are all over the place, okay? Just take your time, think it through, and make some money. That's the reason why we're here. God bless. Enjoy the evening. I'll see you all tomorrow.